Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another macro review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Yeah, another macro review, another macro beer. That's not a lager this time. This is a wheat beer. This is a Witbier. A Witbier that has taken Denmark by storm. This shit is everywhere. And the demographic, I think, of people drinking it is usually, I think it's like 18, it's like early 20s. I see a lot of young people drinking this. Maybe because it doesn't taste too much like beer. It's more fruity. That might be the reason why. And a lot of girls seem to enjoy this as well too. A lot of my female friends, they always, if we go out, it's like, oh, I'll have a Kronenbourg. Yeah, okay. Well, that's how it is. And the thing is, if you go out, the selection is also often really crappy because macro companies are like, they have this lock tap system. So like, if we give you a tapping system, you serve this portfolio of brands and that's how it works. But this is just taking the country by storm. It's everywhere. So this is Kronenbourg 1664 Blanc. I thought I should review this. I mean, I had to. And pretty much, it's fun to see because we've had wheat beers in the country for a long time. And even Witbier, Hoegaarden. Hoegaarden is, I can't remember who owns Hoegaarden right now. Hoegaarden is not independently owned. I think in Denmark, at least for a while, Carlsberg had the rights to it. And they sold it along with Leffe. But as in the recent years, Leffe and Hoegaarden has gotten much harder to find because this and the Glenbergen beers, because so way back in 2008, Scottish and Newcastle, who owned loads of different small companies around Europe, for example, famous, beer, Newcastle Brown Ale, but they also owned the rights for the French beer company Kronenbourg, and loads of others, and Carlsberg and Heineken kind of bid on this for a while. They ended up doing a sale with the company, and then Carlsberg got some brands, Newcastle Heineken got some brands, and then they share some brands too. Like, for example, I think in Belgium and the UK, Grimbergen is Heineken brewed, but for the rest of Europe, it's made by Carlsberg. It's a bit weird how those contracts works, but I'm not sure if the contracts that Carlsberg had for Leffe and Hoegaarden expired or what happened, but I feel like I don't see them as much around anymore as when they had those in their portfolio, because now it's like for Carlsberg, it's Kronenbourg and Glenbergen everywhere. So pretty much this is their take on a Hoegaarden Witbier, which is quite famous Witbier in Denmark. Actually, I haven't even seen that beer on tap anywhere in a long time, and it used to be everywhere in the big glasses too, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, well, it's all about rights, right? Like trading rights and rights for different brands. That's just the world of big beer. But where was I going with that? So yeah, Carlsberg had that for a long time, as I said, and recently they've really started ramping out a lot of these Newcastle sold brands like Grimbergen and and I think Grimbergen also I think Grimbergen's also owned by Alkenmaas, or is that where they brewed in Belgium? I'm not entirely sure. But this has kind of become in Denmark, like the alternative. I wouldn't say craft alternative, but it's like people go for a beer and they see this. I don't think anybody who don't know anything about beer, like a geek like me, knows that this is not brewed in France and it's not a French beer. I think a lot of people think it's French and they think it's really nice. The marketing is really good. I mean, look at that bottle. That's fucking pretty. That looks great. If you had that on a fucking, with the liquid in it and on a fucking table with a light shining from the bottom, that is fucking marketing right there. Looks amazing. How does it taste? We'll see. Well, one thing is that, of course, and I think a lot of people see that it's foreign, it's exotic, it's a bit different. And then a big thing with this is it's not too beery. It doesn't taste like what people associate with beer. I think that's why you see a lot of young kids drinking this, because I think a lot of young kids often don't like beer, but what they know as beer is the macro-brewed shitty stuff. So that's sometimes it. I mean, we have some okay macro beer in Denmark, I'd say, but compared to other countries. But yeah, this is just taking it by storm. So this is, as I said, a Witbier on 5%, and it's made with, listen to this, water, barley malt, wheat, glucose syrup, aromatic caramel. What the fuck is aromatic caramel? Aromas, hops, sweet orange peel, and coriander. So the big thing for this to be an authentic Witbier, it needs to have sweet orange peel and coriander. That's like one of the main components of a Witbier, and that was an attempt by Belgian brewers to distinguish themselves from the German Weissbier, so they're not exactly the same. yeah, that's kind of all the info that is on here. And then it's also, well, it's not brewed in Denmark either. It's actually brewed in Poland. It says brewed by Carlsberg Supply Company Polska in Warsaw in Poland for Carlsberg, Denmark. I don't know. They probably don't have capacity. I bet they haven't got the capacity to brew this in Denmark. That's why. But this is not a French beer. This is one of the big beers that's served all over. But I thought it would be fun to do a review on this just because, as I said, it's everywhere. But I've rambled enough about kind of history on this brand, being a bit fired up because it annoys me that this is everywhere. But good wheat beer isn't. Like, there's so much better wheat beer out there that you can get compared to this. Like, if you go to, even, like, I think they still have it, but Heidi's Beer Bars, it's a chain of pubs in Denmark or bars that German is like party bars. They actually serve Weihenstephaner in bottles. That's like some of the best wheat beer you can get. I know it's not Witbier, but this is what people go for, which is, again, it's marketing, but yeah, let's check it out. So pours a lightly hazy golden yellow color. I've seen it on tap. Even more hazy, actually, when I've seen people have it. And I've had it myself as well. And it's much more hazy. The head on this is kind of whitish. But yeah, let's check out the aroma. It is like... It's like... It really doesn't smell like beer. I think the thing with this, it smells more than synthetic than Blue Moon. Blue Moon, when I reviewed that, actually smelled like a beer, like a wheat beer. This just smells like kind of like bubblegum extract. Maybe that's like they put in, so the big thing is like the yeast in these beers, like the wheat beers, can produce bubblegum-like flavors and aromas. And also banana and different other things. But this just smells like so much like synthetic bubblegum. Like really synthetic bubblegum and orange. Like that's the most of the stuff I'm getting on this. It's like... I never thought I'd say this about like a Carlsberg beer that is more synthetic, like to an American imitation of a European brewed beer style. This smells more synthetic than that, and I think that's a real fucking shame for a brewery in Europe that has so much beer history and it actually has produced some fairly decent beers to go this route. And also, if you look at some of the cans now of some of their different products, I guess they're just stating what's in there. They have to, but it used to just be like water, barley, malt, hops, yeast. That's it, or barley malt. But now they're starting to put like this, like syrups and all this. Maybe it's just like the law that you have to state that now. I don't know, but it's just like, why all of a sudden? It just smells so synthetic. It's even a little bit skunked. It has a little bit of a skunkiness going on. It's like it's a bubblegum orange, maybe a bit of a like a yogurty thing. Let's try it. I'm a little bit pissed. I don't know why. Cheers. Okay. It tastes more like a beer on the flavor. The aroma really got me pissed because it just smelled like fucking fake bubblegum yogurt weird shit. It tastes more like a beer on the flavor, but very light, very easygoing. Much more like a Blue Moon on the flavor. So I'm a little less pissed now. It's like, this is more synthetic than a Blue Moon, and it's from Europe where this style originates. Shame on you. It's still not great though. It's still skunked. There's that skunky flavor, which is interesting. I don't know how blue and UV light works, if that's absorbed through blue, the color blue. It's definitely got a kind of a skunky vibe. Lemon a little bit. That bubblegummy orange type thing is definitely that orange yogurt or something. It's a bit more beery on the flavor, but it's also not like really beer-like. It's more of like a lowest common denominator type thing. If you had like a proper well-made wheat beer, they can be really nice, especially in the summer. This is like a watered-down version with flavoring and malt extract and shit like that. Yeah, I can understand why people are really attracted to this beer. Again, marketing, everything is on point. And it's not too beer-like. And it's a bit fruity, and it's a bit refreshing. And it's, you can get it everywhere. That's also part of it. But it's not something I'll say, wow, this is great. If I'm at a beer bar and there is like, even my least favorite of all Like that's a German wheat beer I know. If we had to say a Belgian wheat beer, I guess Hoegaarden is the most common. I'd much rather take a Hoegaarden over this. But if we're saying like even with a German wheat Weissbier, if I had the opportunity of this or my least favorite of all the German Weissbiers that are big brewed, Erdinger, I would pick the Erdinger because I feel like that is a bit more flavor. But if I go out and I go to something like the Heidi's bars or whatever. Fucking Weinstefano all day, man. Weinstefano is where it's at. If you want really fucking amazing wheat beer, you drink Weinstefano from Germany or you drink Schneider from Germany. They make like some of the best wheat beers. They don't do like Witbiers. I don't know what Witbier would I recommend. Blanche Nemours is pretty good from Belgium. As far as I remember, I haven't had it in years, but yeah, this is. And it's skunked. 48. I actually hated this more than I thought I would. When I've had it on tap, usually, whenever I've had it on tap, I've also been a little bit inebriated. I've been like, drinking a beer or whatever. But having it like with a fresh palate has been like, it's kind of shitty. Nothing great. It's just like fruity and bubblegummy and artificial and like... And I know you shouldn't... I'm just getting way too into this review. It's fucking long. It's 12 minutes of rambling on Kronenbourg Blanc. Let's just wrap it up. Give it a 48. Would I buy this again? No. Would I drink it if I was drunk? Probably, but that's the only occasion I drink this. I'd much rather drink it. This is just such a fucking shame to proper wheat beers. Like, it doesn't even have the body or anything. I enjoyed Blue Moon more than this because this is a little bit more synthetic than that. Actually, a lot more. What the fuck? I never expected that. Oh well, let's stop the rambling. Let's end it right there, guys. That was the Kronenbourg 1664 Blanc by Carlsberg. Fucking Carlsberg. Even though they do make some okay things, this is one of the things I'd be like, hey, don't make this. Or at least make it with at least 50% wheat malt and not all the flavoring and syrups and shit like that. And then the proper yeast and everything. Do it right. Then we can talk. Make a Kronenbourg Blanc version at your Jacobsen Brewery. And do it right. That could be nice. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Thanks a ton for watching, guys. If you had a chance to try the Kronenbourg Blanc, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And cheers to stupid ramblings about beer. You know, this happens because we're so passionate about this beverage, you know? That's how it is. So cheers. And see you guys in another beer review.